What's up, dude?
Good morning. Hey.
I can barely hear you.
Oh, really? You cannot hear me. Hold on. I'm at 60%. How about 85? Does
Yeah, that
85
works.
sound better?
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Good morning. Well, the 60 was to keep my daughter from being on the show, who's right over there. Lily, you want to come say hi to Deacon? Come here, sweetie. Yeah, we'll show. Oh, let's get here. Put this in your put it down. Put this in your ear so you can hear what Uncle Deacon has to say. First,
Hello.
good morning.
Hello.
Oh, why are you wearing that on your arm?
I
Munchkin?
broke my hand.
You broke
Oh,
your hand?
broke
Oh,
your
no.
hand.
Oh, no. What'd you do?
Lily? No.
This one.
Oh, you're right with the broken hand. Okay. And well, Lily, it's 8:05. Shouldn't you be at school right now? But you're not at school. Why are you not at school?
Because I broke my arm and I'm gonna get a cast.
You're going to get a cast? Did she really break her hand?
Yes. she
Oh, my
really broke her
goodness.
hand.
What'd you do?
Somebody broke my hand.
Somebody broke your hand. Were you at the playground? Where were you at?
I'm at the park
At the park?
and my friend broke my hand.
Oh, it was just an accident, huh? Goodness gracious. Well, I've had 3 casts in my life, so it'll be okay.
Are you are you looking forward to getting a cast? What color cast are you gonna pick? Do you have any idea? Are you she's pretending like she's
Purple.
nervous about
Purple.
Purple.
I like
it.
purple.
Purple?
Yeah.
You said Dad could draw on your cast? Yeah, okay.
And maybe Uncle Deacon.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
I would love to.
And Joe.
And
Mom.
all right.
And June.
And June.
Wait, you will go see my buddy.
Wait. Give me that. All right, go on.
Come see Buddy.
So while we were on vacation, while we were in San Diego, I went into Geppetto's. Geppetto's is a toy store in San Diego in Coronado Island, and I bought stuffed animals for the girls, and my wife also wanted the stuffed animal. This belongs to my wife, and it has been immediately and irrevocably confiscated by my kids.
That's cute.
She got it to take to my wife got it to take to her office to set on her desk to be a little stress reliever. And it was immediately stolen by my daughters because they like it better than the toys that I got for them. It is very soft.
It looks soft.
Not softer than Mr. Cat.
Not softer than Mr. Cat. Okay. I'm gonna talk to Deacon for a little bit.
Over here. Come and sit. Mom. You can't do
Okay.
That's terrible that she got a broken hand.
Yeah. I honestly have the hey, let's put this out of here. Get up there. I have the X-rays, and I was thinking like, surely I can see a break on an X-ray. Nope.
Not with a hand.
Looks like bones to me. Looks
Yeah,
just
I
like
was gonna say,
bones.
not with your hand. There's so many little floating bones up in there and stuff. Mine were in my arms,
Yeah, that's what I broke.
yeah, and you could see them. You could see this one because it was going like this. And the doctor had to squeeze it back down. It wasn't
He's
a
like,
true
let's
compound
just
fracture,
pull it
but was-
apart, line
Yeah.
it. I think that's more or less correct, and then put it back together.
Man, that was I remember that pain. That was a tough one. So good morning, dude. We've had this little
Good morning.
24-hour throwing up bug. I don't know where
Oh,
it come
yeah.
from, but Ashley got it. Alex got it. He was better in a day. I've been about 24 hours. Ashley's been, it's hit her harder than the rest of us. She's still sick with it. So that yesterday, I
Sure.
just felt like I had
On
no
the mend.
energy.
Yeah.
I see Dave coming in there, but there he is.
There's Dave. We were almost gonna do a show yesterday, but then I saw your message, be like, "Oh, you're sick. You're not feeling good."
Oh, that's fine. Y'all should have.
Yeah. No.
I still don't feel
nothing's
all
been.
that great today, but I'm about 70% better than I was yesterday. I literally felt like a giant picks you up by your feet and slams you back and forth. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all had no energy.
Sorry. Puny God reference.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said puny God.
Oh,
It was a
Oh,
yeah.
Avengers reference.
Hulk.
Loki. Hulk.
let's see. I'm
Yeah.
looking. You guys remember that? I was bringing up a media clip so that I could introduce a story. Do you guys remember in? But I can't find it exactly. You remember the movie The Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
With
Ed Norton.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Ed
Yeah.
Norton, and he's down in Brazil or whatever, trying to hide from the man,
Yeah.
and working at a bottle factory.
Yep.
He's
Uh-huh.
working at a bottle factory, just
And
trying
he
to live
kills
his normal
Stan
life.
Lee. He almost kills Stan Lee.
Well,
Yeah,
he
Stanley drinks the bottle.
contaminates. He contaminates some orange, I don't know,
Soda.
some green soda.
Orange soda. Was it green?
Yes, I don't know what color it was. So it was some sort of a soda. It's in the
Yes.
2008 movie The Incredible Hulk. Ed Norton is hiding from the government down in Brazil, working at a bottle factory. I don't know how he cuts himself and bleeds into a bottle of
Things
juice.
happen, man. Things happen.
And as a consequence, Stanley's cameo character in that movie accidentally drinks. I guess.
Is there why did you start telling the story?
Oh, it's
Oh, I'll
coming.
tell you
It's
why.
coming. Don't-
Okay.
It's coming. Don't worry.
It's taking a
Don't
long
worry.
freaking time to get there.
It's a good build up.
And I hate Stan Lee with all of my passion. So when anybody talk awesome about him, I just tune out because he was a
cares?
bastard. All right.
Yeah, he was just another guy. Everybody's a guy.
But
Well,
he was a piece of
if you
crap
were-
guy that fooled everybody into
Mhm.
thinking he was a good guy.
yeah.
I'm sure Jack Kirby was a good
that's-
guy too. And Steve Ditko were
Uh,
good guys too.
I didn't
Got their
say
ass
a good
robbed.
guy. I said he was a guy. I said he
Oh.
was a guy who.
Oh, okay.
who-
I just
it
don't like
doesn't matter.
Stan Lee. I got into it
He's a
like
guy.
2 weeks ago with somebody was talking how awesome Stan Lee was. And I was like, dude, when somebody talks about how awesome Stan Lee is, that shows me first and foremost that you don't know his history. You do not
Yeah.
know his history.
He took a
But you
little bit of
wouldn't be
credit for
saying
some stuff.
He's a good guy.
I mean, like, I don't have any opinions on the value of Stan Lee. It's not really about that.
Okay, that's fine.
It's more about what if, Deacon, what if you were the Hulk? What if you were the Hulk and you had there was a possibility that you could accidentally contaminate somebody with your being the Hulk? Except instead of a Hulk, what if you had STDs? So there is a
Good
janitor.
God, this was a long way to go for this. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Cheese and rice? What? I like cheese and rice.
I thought he said Susan Rice. Texas janitor gets 6 years for spreading STDs by wetting into office water bottles.
Gross.
Oh my God, it's in Houston. Oh no. He worked in a medical facility and he was sentenced to 6 years in prison. This is my question. Is 6 years in prison the correct amount of time for spreading a disease
Or
to at least 13
Are they
women?
going to power him up in prison? Is he going to get more STDs?
Oh my
Be more
gosh.
stronger. I mean,
Gross.
I don't know, man.
It's-
I don't know.
Gross. Y'all are gross people.
Hey, I'm asking questions that are.
Mhm.
That's a
Mhm.
good question. He's gonna go from wow. He's gonna go from Edward Norton Hulk to what's the new guy? I don't know who the new guy is that plays the Hulk.
Oh my word.
Who
Blank on
cares?
his
He's,
name.
he's a
D'Onofrio. No,
leftist
not D'Onofrio.
idiot too. They're all leftist idiots.
Is Junior
Morning, folks.
Robert Downey Jr.?
I'm sure
Hmm.
he is.
Chris
No, he
Pratt's
doesn't play the
not.
Hulk. What are you talking
No,
about?
leftist individuals here.
Oh, I
Ruffalo,
think the
Mark
secret
Ruffalo.
rule of Hollywood is that if you don't really know their politics, they're probably conservative, and that's probably because
Downey
they pay
Jr.
taxes.
Robert Downey Jr.'s made comments before they've gotten in trouble with Hollywood. His comments have been very right of center.
Oh, really?
And,
Okay. Well, I
yeah.
didn't know that.
Chris Pratt,
Yeah.
also very famously
Chris,
not
Chris
left.
Pratt is one of the few
Chris
that
Pratt
are.
supposedly is a Christian,
He
and
prayed
Yes.
for me the other day. Chris Pratt prayed for me the other day. I was scrolling through YouTube and he popped up and said, "Hey, you stop scrolling for a second.
Oh
Can
yeah,
I pray with you?" And he prayed with me, and I appreciate it because it was good
You know
prayer.
what? It's
Good
not just. So Dave's talking about the Hollow app, which I'm. As far as I
I'm
know,
talking about Chris Pratt. Wasn't going to mention any apps.
okay. But Chris Pratt and I was actually surprised. Chris Pratt and you have
Mark,
there's a
Mark
Mark
Wahlberg.
Wahlberg,
Mhm.
Mark Wahlberg, Gwen Stefani. I was a little bit like
That one
what?
surprised me a
Really?
bit.
Yes, Gwen Stefani. So
that's
I mean,
probably
that's pretty
courtesy
cool.
of Blake Shelton, because Gwen Stefani she grew up in SoCal. They were a
Yeah.
SoCal ska band. I saw No Doubt before they were popular. 311 came down to Nashville after their second album, Grassroots, came out, and they didn't get popular until their third album, 311. Well, we went down to watch 311 in this little bitty freaking warehouse, and this band opened up for them that we had never heard before, but they had this chick lead singer, and they were freaking ska, and it was awesome, and I bought their CD. It's called the Beacon Street Collection.
Mark Ruffalo. Hey,
And then,
Ryan Weldon. Thank
3
you, sir.
weeks later,
I said Mark Ruffalo.
they got on.
Yeah, but Ryan
TV.
said Mark Ruffalo. See, when you said it, I was like, I don't know if that's right. But Ryan says it, and I'm like, oh, I see.
Mark Ruffalo
It is the
not
correct
good.
answer. All right.
I'm not in a good
What-
mood today.
I can tell. It's okay. It's all right.
Pete,
have
did you
some-
enjoy the video?
I haven't watched it
banana?
all the way through yet. I
But you
haven't
watched the banana bandana one.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
I hope that would put you in a good mood.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll show you after a while.
All right. Hey, did you guys ever watch? I got another movie question for you guys. I
Okay.
told you, I don't know, a week or two ago about there was a series on Amazon Prime called The Head. Did I tell you about this?
No.
Amazon Prime, The Head. I think it's got like 2 or 3 seasons now. If you like movies like The Thing or Whiteout, right, where basically like somewhere trapped and isolated in the South Pole, researchers. Yeah, Ryan says, "Hey, Deke, see, look." Ryan also affirmed your opinion. No Doubt was awesome. And
Can
if
you
you-
moderate so I can see comments? I can't see comments.
Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, early No Doubt sounds different than that album. The Beacon Street Collection is straight up. I mean, no Doubt grew up with Sublime. If you listen to some of that early Sublime stuff, you can hear Gwen Stefani singing on it, and some of that Beacon Street stuff. What's his name sings on it? So, The Head.
What's his name?
It's called The Head.
Yeah. Here, let me show you.
It's not on
Where's my
Prime.
share button?
It's on Max.
No, it's on.
I can watch it on Prime, but it costs me $9 a month.
Oh, okay. My bad. It's on.
Oh,
it's
wait a
on
minute.
Max.
That's not it. Hang on.
The Head. It's got 3 seasons, and in this movie, The Head, or this TV show, The Head, there's a winter crew that takes over this Polaris 6 research station, and when when it gets to the winter, you cannot travel in Antarctica. The winter crew comes in, the summer crew leaves, and the winter crew's stuck there for 6 months. 6 months, nobody's bringing them water. You're not getting DoorDash, no pizza, nothing.
Right.
Nobody's flying in, and then 6 months later, the summer crew comes in to relieve them, and they land, and nobody answers. Nobody's there to greet the plane, and they get out of the plane. They go up to the Polaris 6 station. It's snowed in and closed. All the power is off. They have to break in. They break into the station, and there's dead bodies everywhere. And the show, the first season of the show is what happened
spoil
here.
Yo.
Okay,
Well, I'm
what
not
is
telling you what
Always a
happened. That's all.
Sword? See, I'm on Prime now, and there's a series called Always a Sword, which is a sword and sorcery adventure
You're
D&D, and Deborah Ann
no,
Wall
sir.
is doing
Stop.
one of the voices.
You're going off topic.
What
Okay,
the
I
hell?
am, but
I am
dude,
so
Stop it.
confused with what's
Stop.
going on right now.
I don't know. I'm looking for this.
Dave, cut
Go
it
ahead.
out.
No, I'm looking for your movie that you were telling me about, but I'm finding other things
Go to
that look great.
IMDb and search for The Head. It's not hard. So this is the show, The
I
Head,
see it.
and this is
I
is
started
an
to say,
article from.
it sounds like what's going on. This article that I read's going on right now with this
It
guy
is
in the
totally,
article freaking out and sexually assaulting these people, and they can't do nothing about it.
They're trapped. They're trapped. Trapped Antarctic scientists are begging for help after assault and death threats from somebody that has lost their mind.
You're
South
going to
African
assault me
scientists.
or give me a death threat one time. I will allow one time. You don't get a second time.
I
For
mean,
what?
I would be
You're
like,
getting
whoa,
it
whoa, whoa,
without-
whoa. Hey, step outside and chill out for a minute. And then they step outside and then you lock the door. And then it's like somebody else's problem. South African scientists in the Shane 4 Research Center in South African National Arctic Program runs the base and the South African whatever. The team is completely blocked off on a base where typical winter temperature is minus 23 degrees Celsius and the wind speeds reach 150 miles per hour. It is 2,500 miles away from their South Africa's lowest point on the globe.
Yeah, you
So
have
there's
to watch
like-
it on Max.
Yeah, you have to watch it on Max. One of the researchers sent an email last week claiming that another member of the team had attacked them and was waiting for further and was issuing other threats. So this is my question. Like, these people don't have guns, they don't have weapons. It's a science station, and somebody's just up and lost their mind. What do you do? What do you do?
There's ways to get around that. You don't have to have a gun.
You got zip ties.
You just gave one just joking there a minute ago, but that's obviously one. Overpower him and stick him outside for about 24 hours until his ass calms down, hoping that he don't die. But
So
I
I don't know if
there are consequences to actions. People seem to forget
know
that
if-
these days.
I don't know if this is real or not, but if you watch the TV show The Head, they talk about ice sickness, which is like, I don't know if it's a real thing, but people apparently can be, because you're down in this research station. If you look out the window, it's nothing but white as far as you can see.
I imagine
There's
that's
nothing. And
What was that?
and the rest of the time you're trapped in this tin can with all these other people stinking and farting the place up.
What was that
So-
movie with? I think Robin Williams was the bad guy. Was it called Insomnia? Where they go
Sounds
up,
right.
where they go up to the Arctic somewhere in Alaska or somewhere that has like almost 24-hour a day sunshine, and he's
Oh,
having
yeah?
to acclimate to it, but it's messing with him, and he's trying to solve this murder, but it's messing with him. I think it was called Insomnia because
Is that an Al Pacino movie?
I think
No.
I think Al Pacino was the main character.
And Angelina Jolie and Al Pacino had a movie.
I don't
like
remember
that.
her being in it. I think Robin Williams was the bad guy because he did
Right.
such a great, scary bad guy.
He was in it. Robin Williams was in it. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
wrong
he
about
was
Angelina Jolie.
such a good bad guy, man. He just
I am wrong. It was Hilary Swank. Hilary Swank was
Mm.
the female
yeah.
in the protagonist. Wow, I don't remember. I saw that movie in the theater. I remember Al Pacino so vividly, and I do not remember Robin Williams being in the movie.
Hooah! Hooah!
Ooh-ah.
Hooah!
I didn't
All
see
right.
the movie.
Oh, that's a good one, Dave. Seriously, that's a good one. That was made in the 90s, wasn't it?
Now-
Like, in the mid 90s.
Now I want to see Robin Williams and Al Pacino having like some sort of a weird grunt off where they're making weird noises at each other.
I'm sure you can get AI to put that together for you.
Okay,
I had some stories left over from the other day that we didn't get to.
sure.
And then I had a couple of interesting ones here. I think I
I
put,
threw one in there a few minutes ago.
yeah, I was looking for the one that I threw in. Okay,
I threw
this
one in there for yesterday's show.
this
yeah.
was interesting. Do y'all know a guy named Tim Walls?
Yeah, sounds
Good
familiar.
morning, Joey. It's Joey. Look, Joey said good morning. Hey, Joey.
Tim Walz is the
Who was
current
he again?
governor of Minnesota,
Okay.
Yeah.
and he was Kamala Harris's vice presidential running mate.
Yeah.
So this thing's about 2.5 minutes long, but I want you to listen to it. Plays what Tim Walz says, and then this guy that I watch all the time, he just breaks it down. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So
Okay.
hang on, let me share this. I'm sorry.
I'm saying on my phone, I don't know, some of you know this on the iPhone, they've got that little stock app. I added Tesla to it to give me a little boost during the day. 225 and dropping. So
This man is a loser, literally and figuratively. He's too ignorant and stupid to understand that this is going to age like milk. Let me just break a few things down. Literally one of the most innovative companies on the planet right now. And they're an American company, and he's preying on their downfall. Let's think of the things Tesla offers now, and let's see what they're going to be offering in the future. The Model S, the Model 3, the Model X, the Model Y, the Cybertruck. All of these can be equipped with full self-driving FSD, meaning the cars drive themselves, literally. And they get better each and every day. The more data it takes in, the better FSD becomes. Not to mention they have semi-trucks. They have solar panels and solar roofs that they offer. They offer a power wall, which is like a home battery system that stores solar energy. They also have megapacks, which are like large-scale energy storage solutions. It's for like utilities and businesses to kind of like stabilize the grid and obviously store renewable energy. They have the supercharger network, which allows anybody to drive a Tesla from like California to New York, for example. Think of the supercharger network kind of like gas stations, minus being able to go in and buy a drink and things like that. Not to mention Tesla has insurance. Everything I just mentioned, they already have. Now let's look at what they're going to be doing. They're going to be dropping an affordable next generation vehicle. Already unveiled a cybercab, a robo-taxi, an automated taxi that drives itself. Not to mention the Tesla network, which allows people that have FSD on their vehicles to use them in ride sharing, kind of like a robo-taxi. And then Optimus, a humanoid robot, which will drastically change the world we live in. This is undoubtedly one of the most innovative companies in the history of the world. And Tim Walz is preying on its downfall, like many Democrats. Tim Walz also doesn't mention the rest of the market is down as well. But let him keep talking his shit. It shows us how pathetic he is, and it will give us something to come back to here in 18 to 24 months. We'll see if he's still looking at his app then.
So what this other video brought up, I thought he would mention that in this video. What this other video brought up was the fact that Minnesota's retirement fund has like a set amount of Tesla stock. And not only does Minnesotans' retirement fund have this Tesla stock, there were 2 or 3 other things in Minnesota that have this Tesla stock. So with the governor of Minnesota saying, I hope this company fails, he's basically saying, I hope you Minnesotans that have a retirement fund, it's going to be gone. It's going to be less than what it was. I don't know. I just thought that was interesting this morning.
He's just pandering to the fringe minority of the Democratic Party that does not recognize that their leadership is ridiculous. He's the woke leftist, the super leftist, the ones that are like hate everything Donald or whatever, hate everything Elon. And not all. I don't think all Democrats are like that. I think honestly, most Democrats don't have any idea what's going on at all. Like they just don't know. They're just poorly informed. You know what I mean?
They're
like,
poorly informed.
like I saw a video of I saw a video a couple days ago of a guy, like one of those stop somebody on the street type videos, you know? And this guy was like, hey, can you tell me who said this quote? And then he would read out a quote. Was it Trump or Biden? And these are quotes that you would recognize if I read them to you. Be like, oh yeah, I've heard that like 100 times. She hadn't heard them at all, and she just guessed Biden, or she guessed Trump because didn't like the way it sounded. For instance, the quote, she was asked, who said that black poor kids are just as talented and as white kids. And she was asked that she was like, "Oh, that sounds terrible. That sounds like Trump." And she was like, "No, that was Joe Biden." So, very much, a lot of people just are poor, very poor, poorly informed. Yeah. And I did see that Tim Walz video a few days ago. And as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, you know what? It's almost time for me to invest some of my IRA. So I went and I bought some Tesla stock. Because if the price is down and it's going to go up, then you make money. So I now have a share of Tesla. I am personally vested in the success of Tesla.
I have a portion of a share.
My wife is rolling her eyes.
I think it's funny. Brian put this in the in one of the things this morning. I think it was in the memes channel. Let me go up and hit this. It said, the funny thing about all these Democrats damaging Teslas is that they're all going to be felons and that they'll never be able to vote again for the rest of their lives.
Are they what? Really?
The one guy was charged with a felony.
If it is charged as a felony, you do lose the right to vote.
Wait, you lose the right to vote.
In all states or in some states?
A felony is not necessarily a state crime. It is a federal crime, and it just depends. Well, I guess you could have a state federal crime.
No, I mean, I don't think you're. Is that
if
true?
If you are convicted of a felony, you do lose the right to vote.
Yep.
But in what elections and in what states? I don't think there's a provision in the Constitution.
The right to vote. Period. Because that's been a big thing in Kentucky for a while, is that they're trying to get this, or I thought it was Trump or somebody. It might have been.
I don't think Trump was able to vote in the last election.
We want to expunge these people that have been, out for so many years and whatnot. They want to expunge the felony from their record so that they can start paying jobs and stuff. Because some of these people made a mistake in their 20s, in their early 20s, and now they're in their late 40s and they can't get a job to support their family, even though they knew they made a mistake. This is just some. I'm not saying all, but some. And this was a big thing.
Okay, so in the United States, the right to vote for felons is determined by state law. So it depends on the state you live in. So Alabama, permanent disenfranchisement for certain felonies. Florida, Iowa, Kentucky, Mississippi, Tennessee, Virginia, Wyoming. In some states, felons lose the right only while incarcerated. So Colorado, Connecticut, DC, Hawaii, Illinois, Indiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Dakota, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Washington, and Utah. In Maine and Vermont
has not been mentioned yet.
In Maine and Vermont, you never lose the right to vote. And in a few states, you lose the in a few states, you lose the right to vote until the sentence is completed. So,
some states you probably get the right to vote as soon as you get a felony.
No, well, that would be very poor public policy.
Would it?
All right. What else do we have? You got any other interesting stories? That's kind of interesting. I didn't know that.
I threw one in a second ago.
Go ahead, Dave.
Prince William. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Where is it at? I don't have it pulled up. Hold on. One of those MSNBC ones. So make sure I got all my ads off. All right.
Oh, I forgot I pulled this story for you guys the other day. I have a sound story from a couple days ago for you, Deacon.
All right, here's the Prince William one. Bam. All right, y'all should see this. Prince William. He went to visit his soldiers near the Russian border, and he does it from a tape. And I'm just like, I'm impressed. The UK doesn't always get like the, they're tough vibe. But dude, when you show up and you're ready to meet with your troops and stuff, I'm just props to Prince William. I look forward to UK's future.
Okay.
I think that's cool. I think Prince William coming out there to do that. Yeah.
I mean, he's a soldier as it is. But
I mean, he's like a ceremonial soldier, isn't he?
No,
No.
he's not.
No, he went
He's
through
not. He's a
everything.
decorated soldier.
Yeah, he went through
He-
Really?
everything.
He
So
threw
did
up.
his
He's
brother.
been on the front line, and
I
his
think
brother
his
too.
brother,
They
yeah,
were
his brother was on the front lines many times too.
they were
Oh, okay.
legit.
Yeah, seriously.
They had bounties against their head when they were fighting the Taliban and stuff. I'm like, dang, and they didn't
Alright.
Yeah,
care.
they
They were
didn't.
just like,
Yeah, Prince William is one of those that I'm really impressed by because when he gets into when he becomes king, you know some stuff's going to drop because his mom was killed, and he's had to abide by these royal proclamations and royal stuff. He's got his hands tied his whole life, and when he
Mhm.
becomes king, oh, I bet you some stuff's going to change. I would bet.
You know, I feel like and I don't know anything about. I mean, I obviously know that Diana was, killed or whatever.
Oh, I'm very interested. I've always been interested in that.
now,
I-
you have your foil hat, Deke.
Always on.
Good, good, good. William's brother, Harry,
Hmm.
has a son
Hmm.
who is what citizenship?
I don't know. United States.
He's an
Oh.
American citizen.
That's cool.
Could a American citizen who is in line for the throne of Britain become president of the U.S.?
No, because you are. It's part of our constitution that you have to renounce all titles.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's right.
His titles have already been renounced, but that still doesn't mean that his bloodline's not.
No, but I mean, maybe
They-
that
I mean,
portion
Harry,
could be,
Harry
but
and Meghan
But
renounced their
if you're going to
royalty
get into
status.
bloodline, I mean, almost every single president is related,
is like-
except for
But
Trump.
this is so much more like, ooh, this is so much like,
I know.
man, that's just
I know,
your
but
grandfather is
that's
the
one of
king.
those facts that came through years ago that people just kind of dismissed, and it just kind of blew me away. And this fact was created by some little girl in high school doing genealogy for a science project, and she found out that every single president has a common ancestor.
Adam and Eve.
All right, I got another story here for you. I can't.
okay.
Sometimes you clip.
Okay.
Sometimes you clip, Dave, and I can't hear the beginning part
I
of what
said
you say.
Adam and Eve.
Oh, see, all I heard was Eve, and I didn't quite get it. It clips you for some reason.
No, it doesn't like me.
You know, the other day when we brought up, sorry, I'm starting to feel like shit. The other day when we were talking about the Statue of Liberty, JJ, and how France was pissed off that they wanted to take back the Statue of Liberty.
Sure.
Well, there is a foundry in France. It is called Altier Missour, and I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, but it is the last sculpture foundry in France. And this is what they say. They say, to our fellow Americans, we are the last sculpture foundry in France, and we have a message for you. Keep the Statue of Liberty. It's rightfully yours. But get ready for another one. The new Statue of Liberty, much bigger, made out of titanium to withstand millions of years. We, the French people, are going to make it again.
Sure you are. Sure.
At least that one doesn't
okay.
look so... Never mind. I'm not going to get into that conversation again.
Titanium statue. That sounds like a great resource if you need some titanium. Just go get it. All right. Hey, you know what? Good for you, France. I hope that you're able to put together a statue of liberty.
Okay.
For the people that inherit your country to because it's not going to be French people.
The Department of Education stuff is going around all over the place, and wanting to clip it and all this, and people are arguing for what's going to happen to this and what's going to happen to school lunches and and I've seen many videos where people are, school lunches are paid for by the agriculture, the USDA, and all these other things like programs for kids with, learning disabilities all go to different spots. They're not completely doing away with it. They're doing away with the Department of Education. And I just want to, for everybody out there that is very upset that they're doing away with the Department of Education, I want you to watch this little 46-second video here.
Please play it.
I'm a scout. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm an interdisciplinary major at UBC. I'm in my last semester. My primary thematic focus is decolonizing academia and public knowledge systems, and my secondary thematic focus is biocultural and linguistic futurity.
For those who don't know what that means, can you give us a quick rundown?
Yeah, basically what I focus on is the promises that the institution has made and also the emergence of Indigenous ways of knowing and being across the disciplines. And I feature in a lot of stuff like language revitalization, the emergent vitality of languages, rather, and just kind of a bunch of stuff. I've been courses in over 20 departments. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Awesome.
20 departments.
She does.
She is taking classes in 20 departments.
Could someone please tell me after she explain it like I'm a 3-year-old, please? Because I thought I had a pretty high intelligence quotient. But
Go back and find any of the funding that Doge cut, and that's what her job was going to be. Where you go? Yeah.
What did she say? She what did she say she studies exactly? Memes?
No. She makes memes.
Oh, she makes memes.
Yeah.
She is a meme. She's a living meme. All right.
I'm not trying to be mean, but like, what does this job
do you? Okay, so I just asked Grok the annual expenses of the Department of Education. So I was like, hey, just break down annual categories of outflows of funds from the Department of Education. And there's I don't know, there's like 7 main categories. The largest is Office of Federal Student Aid, so FSA. So if you've ever had a loan, you recognize the acronym FSA. That's the largest portion of the budget. They provide Pell Grants, $30 billion a year to support low-income undergraduate students with a maximum of $8,000 per $7,400 per student for the last school year. For this school year, they provide $130 in federal student loans. So they subsidize loans, and interest subsidies with income-driven payment plans. They provide roughly $1 to $2 billion of support for work study and other aids. That's the FSA category, and then there's the elementary and secondary education. So this is your K through 12 stuff. They spend $38 billion, which is like 1/5, maybe a 1/6 of the FSA amount. $38 billion a year with Title I grants, school improvement programs, and COVID. There were some COVID recovery grants. A very small amount of money is for post-secondary education. These are programs for historically Black colleges and universities.
I'm worried about. You might need to mute him.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute Deacon. Muted.
I'm worried about the Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services because I feel like that's a good one. Under I don't like that it's underneath the Department of Education, but like, I mean, my wife works with deaf individuals. Now she's not an educational interpreter on the low end, but I mean, she's working with a student who's working on their PhD who's deaf right now, and she's done this before.
So
and
I was
their
thinking about
departments are going to be impacted by that.
I was thinking about this the other day because here's the game, right? The game is this. You rabble rouse and demagogue, and you scare people into saying, oh, we need more help for XYZ category. And then the federal government, the legislators in the federal government, they organize a way to pull money at the federal level. Deke, you're muted. I muted you while you were out, so you just have to unmute. They pull money at the federal level, and then they dole it out, right? And then because they dole it out, the state programs or whatever become kind of dependent on that doling. And then politicians, bureaucrats, and federal workers or whatever, they use the fact that you're hooked on that to change other public policy. I have an example. Back in like the 80s or 90s or whatever, the federal government wanted to change the drinking age or the smoking age or something like that, and I think Louisiana was like, we don't want to change our drinking age. We want to keep it at where it's at, and so Louisiana was denied funds to improve their roads. So because the federal government was had taken taxpayer dollars and then was doling it out. Well, when you don't comply with other agendas, they're just going to squeeze off that money a little bit to force public policy to change in the state level. And that's what that is the pernicious soft power. It's not that, that we can, as a federal government, we can take this money and we can do good. No, as a federal government, we can take this money and do good until you don't do what we want you to do in all these in some other category, and then it becomes a leverage to be used against you. And that's what the Department of Education has become, which is like, yeah, they do some good things if you do what we say on all these other issues. If you comply. So when it comes down to go ahead.
When I graduated high school, I went to community college to get my basics, and I was going to go to Murray State. I wanted to be a history teacher, but I didn't want to teach at the high school level. I wanted to teach at a collegiate level. So that was my plan. And I got sucked into radio and took a completely different turn. And over the years, I've had many of my really close friends that are still teachers. And one of my best friends for 30 years has told me many times, he's like, Andy, you wouldn't have lasted a day as a history teacher because you would have, he knows me, and he'd have been like, you have to teach what they tell you to teach. And if you don't, you're not a teacher for very long. And he's like, I know you'd have been like, oh, this Paul Revere crap is a bunch of bull. Let me tell you what really happened. And you'll get in trouble. So my dad still to this day will say, Bub, you should have been a teacher. Bub, you should have been a teacher. Still to this day, he'll say it. Everyone's, Bub, you should have been a teacher.
Yeah. Except that you have, in order to do that, you have to do a bunch of things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Ryan was summarizing that woman's degree for us here. He says that she implements spifflers for a thingamajigs in order to increase the equity for flux capacitors. So,
hey, we need more flux capacitors.
Ryan there is a former teacher.
Is he really?
Yes. He taught my children music, but he taught during I think it was during the COVID years, I think went through during that time. He got out of teaching, and he has, you have chicken houses, bunch of chicken houses and stuff now.
Oh,
yeah,
that's right.
He's got a big farm, and he does all this stuff now. He got out of teaching, but
hey, they just
got rich on that chicken market.
Oh, let me tell you a story about Ryan. This cracks me up. I used to tell my kids that I used to be on the radio, and I used to be on Electric 96.9. It was this popular station that the kids listened to, and they just really didn't care because the radio was not really anything like it was back 20 years ago for kids. They just like, oh, okay, whatever. It was one day when I went to pick up my daughter from middle school band practice or something, and Ryan came out with her, and he was like, you were Drew on Electric 96.9. Oh my God, I listen to you all the time, and blah, 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 blah. And he was like going off about how he listened to me all the time, and he figured out that was me. And to watch Kendra react to his reaction to me was like, oh, now she gets it. Now she gets that being on the radio used to mean something. Used to mean something.
You were a local celebrity.
I was. I have several stories about how people changed their way of acting towards me when they found out that my radio name was Drew. You know, that was my radio name. I didn't go by that, my real name. But when they figured out that I was Drew, their mannerisms would change. It really did. It really did.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got something for you here, JJ.
Okay. All right.
You're gonna like this one. Yeah. This is Japan.
Okay.
This is, I've seen this before, but it come back up here a minute ago or yesterday. And I was like, man, this is so cool. This is about a minute long.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Using
cool
steps. Tokyo, one of the busiest cities in the world, has installed these special black tiles on pedestrian walkways. Every time someone steps on them, The tiles capture the kinetic energy from footsteps and convert it into electricity, powering the city's future with every step. At the core of this technology is piezoelectric technology, which converts mechanical pressure into electrical power. A single step can light up 10 bulbs for 20 seconds. This technology is now spreading worldwide, with several European countries implementing it in high-traffic areas, such as football stadiums and amusement parks. Every bit of kinetic energy is maximized and transformed into green energy, making each step part of a sustainable future. Who would have thought that every step we take is quietly changing the world, turning walking into a glowing experience? How cool is that?
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's kind of neat.
it's
Looks like
common-
they're using all that
like it's
energy right
common
there to light
sense.
up the demo. So it's
It's almost like that's. I mean, we have the technology to do that, but what are we going to do to change the cities? We'll use lasers from the sky and burn them all down. Oh,
Get a
I
believer.
said it. Maui and LA were
Christ.
both going to be smart cities.
there's easier ways to kill people than space lasers. That's
Is there, JJ?
yeah, there's a lot easier ways
Space
to kill
laser.
people than space lasers.
A space laser.
Just cook
It's
up
not an
a
easier way to kill
disease
someone.
and
I could be
cook up a
walking
disease
outside and
and
just
let it
fall over
go out.
because a space laser hit me.
Could you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, obviously, if it's close, but like the farther away, doesn't it diffract when it hits the atmosphere? So you have to have it like
Well, you could
ridiculous
don't
high
use
power.
9-volt batteries. Put 2 9-volt batteries in.
How many people are going to have to step on these pads in order to light up your space laser to shoot somebody?
Hey man, Japan's
It's
got a lot
solar
of people.
powered.
And let me
It's
tell you
solar
this:
powered.
you
The sun
can't
never
walk in
sets in
space.
space.
So
Sure you can. They spacewalk all
no,
the
you
time.
can't.
Yep,
That's
they
what-
spacewalk
You're
all
not
the
gonna
time.
get
Next-
piezo stuff that's using
Next-
like no, it's not working.
What do you think controls the wires?
What are you talking about?
Oh my god. Okay. I don't think I have any more. I got one here about how Tom Hanks is a nasty, nasty person. Ooh, I've got one here. This is I don't know how long this is. I wanted to play this on the show just because it was like it's a minute.
Yeah.
It's a minute. I just want to show this to you.
Okay.
Oh, I guess I got to share it. My bad.
I'll be gone next week, by the way.
Okay.
Okay.
So you can obviously see that this is a female who's acting like a male.
Okay.
Okay. Not obviously, but okay.
We give minors
Well, pause. I'm
Well,
sorry. You
treatment.
can't tell, Dave. Look.
I couldn't
see
see
how-
first.
You see how she does not have a pronounced
Adam's apple?
brow ridge. You can't see her Adam's apple from there, but
No.
she doesn't
At
have
first,
a brow.
I thought it was Smalls from Sandlot. At first,
Male skulls have a pronounced brow ridge so that we can head bash each other a little bit harder.
awesome.
Okay, listen to what she says.
Go.
Why do I care if we give minors hormone treatments, puberty blockers, and surgeries? I have gender dysphoria. I've had it since I was a very little child. Okay, 6 years old. I was told you could get a sex change. You could be a boy. And that fucked me up for a very, very, very long time. And I still struggle with it today. It actually made it fucking worse now that I think about it. It is a permanent solution to what might not be a permanent problem. Can't buy cigarettes, can't buy alcohol, can't join the military, can't buy a gun, can't get a tattoo. What the fuck makes you think that they are well enough and okay enough and old enough to make that decision? You don't know. They need to grow up. Let kids be kids.
Yeah, she's not wrong.
I just
You're
thought
not
that,
wrong.
that was pretty powerful coming from, me and you can say it all day long, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, the cure to gender dysphoria is like puberty, and what we have, unfortunately, with the contamination in our foods. I was reading. I was listening to a story the
Are
other
you
day.
drinking water from many places in Houston by any chance?
Please, water bottles, water filters.
Fall back. Fall back.
Yeah. Oh, ew,
Contamination.
ew, grody, Brody. So I think I was watching a video the other day, and they were like, you know, those pants that women like to wear, those tights, the leggings and stuff. They were in this video. They were like, a lot of these clothes are made out of like 100% polyester, and then they are treated and cured or coated in all kinds of PFAs, these chemicals, these forever chemicals. And so it could be that for the last 20 years, a lot of women in our society have been wearing these leggings that are coated in chemicals that gets in their bloodstream. It becomes a hormone and an endocrine like blocker. And so they get into this they're chemically induced into a gender dysphoric state.
Well, you would have to determine that the women who suffer from gender dysphoria in your scenario are wearing these clothes, and it doesn't take into account guys who suffer from gender dysphoria. I don't think yoga pants are the cause.
I'm not saying they're the cause. I'm saying
cause.
It's 100% treated polyester clothes.
Sure.
And, you know, it's just that some women wear yoga pants, so they're wearing much tighter, much closer fitting polyester treated clothes than others. I'm not saying that's the only cause. We have a pernicious problem of
the
chemical.
60s polyester suits that guys were wearing too.
That were not necessarily treated the same way.
No, that's true. I mean, one spark and those things go up.
I'm talking about the pernicious PFAs everywhere in the foods we eat and the clothes we wear. It's just that some clothes may have that more, and some people may wear those kind of.
Pernicious, the word? Proliferation? Proliferation, I think is the word you want.
What's pernicious mean? What did I say? Why did I say that?
Pernicious. I think
I said pernicious. Well, now I have to look it up.
Pernicious is like a snobbery, I think.
Having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. MFR, I was totally right in what I said.
You're right.
I was completely correct.
You're right. You're right. I'm still sticking with proliferation.
Can we do jokes?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's do jokes. This morning, my daughter was like, "Dad, tell me some funny jokes." And so I'm driving to school and I look some up and I'm reading them to her. And she's like, "I get it. It's not funny."
I've got one that's
we've been trying to tell you.
Socially,
I know.
This one is appropriate, I think, for today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was at our little local mission the other day, and a genie lamp came in, and nobody was around, so I dusted it off, and out popped a genie and said, "David, you get a wish." And I said, "I want to be happy." Now I live in a cottage with 6 dwarves, and I have to work in a mine.
That's pretty good.
Hi-ho.
What kind of job can you get at a bicycle factory? Any idea?
No.
A spokesperson.
That's a job that I could look into, because I recently got fired from my part-time job because I kept asking my customers whether they would prefer smoking or non-smoking. And apparently the correct terms are cremation or burial. Thank you.
Hey, what is a cat's favorite instrument?
I don't know.
Come here, Lily. Cat's favorite instrument? Percussion. What do you think of that, Lily? What do you think? Oh yes, come here and tell us your joke, Lily. Come here. She made up a joke yesterday. Do you
No, I
remember
didn't
what it was?
make up it. I saw it.
Oh, you saw it?
I
Okay.
saw it on here.
Oh, okay. Here. All right. Now they can hear you, so you can tell your joke.
Let me
Look
get
right
it.
here.
Let me
Look right
see.
here.
Let me see.
Look right here. Up here. No, I don't need you to do that. Look right up here and tell your joke.
What did the fish say to the other fish? You're stinky.
You're stinky.
You have another joke? No, that's it. Okay.
That's a good
All
one.
right.
Jill has one.
What's
So
Jill's joke?
Jill says, "What did the fart say to the other fart?" You rhyme.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
That's a
All
great
right,
joke.
sweetheart. All right, guys. We'll look. Let's try this show thing again next week. It looks like Rumble is working again. So, yay!
Okay.
All right. I'm looking for the outro. Bye.
Politicians and talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your dog